Morning, welcome back to the channel. I don't know whether you've watched previous videos, but basically I've been struggling with body roll on this car and a bit of a death wobble, and I've been struggling with that for about 5 years or so. Well, actually no, seven years. So basically this car is a heavy duty chassis from the factory, which means it originally had helper springs in it on the rear, and I had the great idea about 2018 to lift it. So I did what everyone else did, and I brought the Terrafirma heavy duty spring and suspension kit. I tried to do it myself at home, lifted the car up using a high lift farm jack, and basically it nearly come off and left a massive gouge in the back door. So what I did was I gave up and sent it to a local Land Rover specialist, apparently. And anyway, I had quite a bit of work done at the time. I had new brakes, and I had the lift kit fitted, and I also had some HD steering bars fitted, and expecting it all to come out the garage tip top. Jumped straight in it one day, off to go camping, and as soon as it hit a tram line on the motorway, it was diving and rolling. Anyway, I pulled up at the campsite and realised that the wheels are pointing different directions, so the guy didn't even closely track it in, just bolted it straight on. So that was quite scary. I had the tracking done and I still felt that it rolled, and after fitting these tyres again about the same time, I realised that the problem was magnified. It got so bad I didn't really want to drive over 40 mile an hour in it. So long story short, over the last 4 or 5 years I've been trying to deal with this. You know, it got so bad that I was getting scared driving it. I'm man enough to admit that. So what happened was eventually I went for the Adrenaline 4x4 camber correction kit, and that made a massive difference. I had the tracking done, it made a massive difference, but it still rolls, especially with the roof tent on it. So I bought an adjustable panhard rod for the front, fitted that, again made a massive difference, but it doesn't dive anymore, but now it still rolls when you sort of overturn in. So I thought I could do with getting the tracking done again, but I thought rather than do that and then mess with the suspension, I've been playing with extra bits. So one of the previous videos, I haven't edited it yet, but over Christmas, which was about 4 or 5 months ago, I fitted an anti-sway bar at the back, and didn't really notice a massive difference, to be honest, considering it was a heavy duty one. So I bit the bullet and I've decided to go with heavier duty suspension on the rear. So what I've gone for is OME 500 kilo springs and big bore Terrafirma shocks. That's on recommendations from friends. And yeah, so today I've already done one side, hence why I'm a little bit out of breath. But what I'm going to do now is run you through quickly how I will be changing these. Turns out you don't need a farm jack, you just need a decent trolley jack and an axle stand. So anyway, I'll get set up and I'll bring you back shortly. So first things first, chock the front wheels. Then what you need to do then is get your breaker bar and brake off wheel nuts before you lift the car up. So I'll just do that quickly, and then I'll show you where I'm going to jack the car up from. This is the upgrade. So the shock on the right is the old one, obviously. That's TF177. Nothing wrong with it, just nowhere near heavy duty enough. So a good friend of mine, Kev, recommended the big bores, so that's what we've gone with. And I've got upgraded to OME shocks. Again, you can see the old one on the right. Not a massive difference in height, which is good because you don't really need spring compressors, but hopefully a massive upgrade on performance. So people say that these are a bit too heavy duty and it handles a bit like a go-kart, but I don't mind that. It doesn't do heavy duty, it doesn't do masses of off-roading, and it spends most of its time on motorways, so that's where it needs to be performing. So I'll just crack these wheel nuts and show you where I'm going to jack the car from. I'm going to jack the car off the axle, and I'm going to do it where the trailing arm mounts, just to get the axle stand underneath. Right, once you're happy that it's jacked up, you can then loose this down, take your wheel off. So I'll whip this wheel off now, and I'll show you what I'm doing next. Well, that's the wheel off. So as you can see, the axle's now fully dropped down. Car's on the axle stand on the chassis. I'm going to undo this top nut, and I'm going to undo this bottom nut just down here. That will free the shock absorber out, and then the suspension spring and axle should drop once that's done. On this one, 18mm up top. No. Okay, 19mm up top on this side. It's really important when you do this to keep everything in order how it went. Rather than you watch me do this, I'm just going to do this quickly and then I'll bring you back. So I've just loosened bottom shock off, keeping it all together, and then I'll pop that out in one. So just put this back together quickly, so I've got it for reference. So now this is the dangerous bit, because that axle stand's looking a little bit shoddy, if I'm honest. But what I need to do now is get a pry bar in there and just lever this down slightly. There we go. So that's took the tension off the spring. Now what I'll do is undo these 2 17mm bolts just here, and that will let the spring pull out. Right, now the bottom plate's off, you can release the spring clamp and then just pop this down. What I do on the other side, just give this a little jimmy with the bar. go. She's out. What I'll do now quickly is just blast the worst off. This is just surface rust and old paint. Blast the worst off of this. Give it a quick blast of black paint, just to try and keep the rust at bay a bit. Welcome to my undercarriage. I just thought I'd show you quickly, just give it a quick rattle can over, knock the old coating off, quick rattle can, and I've done the same with the buckets and the spring retainer, so I'll give that time to flash off and then I'll get cracking with fitting the new springs. By far the most dangerous job on a car, pretty much, is compressing coil springs. They are horrible jobs to do, but these don't need much, so I'll just give them a bit of a pinch just so I don't scratch the paint up when I get them back in. I'm only going to use 2 because that's all I need on the other side. Just to take about 10mm off the length, so they'll just go in without scratching basically. It's not a good idea to have your face anywhere near these when you're doing this, because if one of these goes, it's a teeth knocker out or that should be enough. Right, I'll let this paint flash off a bit and then we'll start putting it all back together. Just for size comparison, you can see I've only took them down 1/2 inch or so, just to take the pressure off when I'm putting them back in, so I'm using the bar. So when you put these back together, you'll notice there's just a tiny little collar there. That's where the flat of the spring locates against. It's quite important, so the spring sits in the right position when it goes back in. Rushing for you. So as you can see, spring's gonna be a bit of a hard one to get out, and that one lands over the axle at the back. But I'm gonna see how it sits and see if I can undo it. So I managed to get that undone. Now just going to tighten this spring in place at the bottom. And then I'll bring you along to the next step. So that's the spring tightened down. What I'm now going to do is jack the axle up on the axle, trying to take the weight off the axle stand, and then just guide that into place at the same time. So. There we go. That's in place. So now I'm going to put the new shock on once I took a little bit more tension off this axle. There we go. Right, let's get the new shock on. So what you do, get it so your writing's on the outside because everyone wants to see your new shocks. Pop them in place, just undo these. Now the key thing is with these is that the washers stay in the orientation that they are at the moment, which is that orientation. So I'm going to put a cup washer on anyway so that they reinforce the axle a little bit. The kit does come with them. Just that one loosely in place. So I'm fitting these so the cup sits in, so it's a little bit of reinforcement for the bottom bracket. So at this point, I'm going to take the axle back up a little bit, just so I can get the bottom cup washer on, and then the bottom bracket. I'm not actually. I managed to get that down far enough. So. And that's it. Tighten them back up and put everything back together. So the new kit's a 19mm. That's the new shocks in place, new spring in place, all solid, no play. So get the wheel back on and then I'll just give these nuts a final torque up. When she's done, move the wheel chocks and time for a quick test drive I think, and then I'm going to call it a day. I'll catch up with you in a minute. So we'll go for a quick test drive, see how she fares. Straight away, massive difference. But normally it's quite rolly. Look around the corners, massive difference. That's made a huge difference. So I'm not going to go far. Wipers just come on. Automatic wipers. That has made an unbelievable difference. So usually when I pull out of junctions like that, the whole truck wobbles, and now it's not. That has made a massive difference. I don't know whether I shut the back door. Better pull over and check that. eager to get out. Just going to go and pull over quickly and see how she goes. Back door was closed. It's a little bit smoky today. I checked the oils and everything yesterday, and spills a load on the exhaust, as you do. So, first thoughts, massive difference. Like, that feels like normally, so this road's just a normal side street, basically a little housing estate, and normally I can feel this happening, even just going over normal bumps, but that feels fantastic. So I'm really pleased with that. I know I haven't posted in a little while. I've got 3 filmed. What are you doing, mate? I've got three videos filmed and not edited. This will be my 4th one filmed. So just a quick update, basically. I've not been doing very much because my dog has been quite poorly this year. So she's got a condition with her stomach anyway, and on top of that, this year she's basically torn her cruciate ligament, which means she can't walk very often. So we've been housebound for about 6 weeks, 2 months. I've done a little bit in this car, so I had to move some stuff, and this was the vehicle to do it. So a bit rolly there, but I think that was mainly front rather than back. Certainly not swaying now. Certainly not swaying. So yeah, I've been housebound, trying to rest her because she's quite old. She's coming to 14, and surgery isn't a great thing to do. The surgery for it is pretty brutal. So we've been resting her, and she seems to be responding, which is nice. You know, it's cost a lot of money, but yeah, hence I've been vacant. You know, I don't want her pacing looking for me or anything. So I'm just going to do one more lap of the block, and then there's a bit of a dual carriageway further down, so I'm going to go on that bit. But this is an island. Oh, feel that. It feels like a racing car. Sounds like a racing car. Yeah, so that's where I've been pretty much. I've been doing a few bits and bobs. So I fitted a sway bar to the rear. I have, that is a massive difference. I've made a gas bottle bracket so I can mount the front runner gas bottle mount I've got up, and that's pretty much it. Obviously those videos will probably come in order, so you're watching this one, you'll already know all that. So yeah, but no, that is a great improvement. Really has made a difference. But like I said, it was weird because the tracking's never been great, and then I did the panhard rod. It turns in quite sharp, which suggests the toe out a little bit. Which when you catch a tram line in the road does a lot of this. Now this is nothing. This is a lot better. A lot better. So yeah, that's brilliant. Update on the engine conversion. The last time I tested it, it was about 24 degrees, and I was only driving around the streets, and it did get a little bit warm. So I need to keep my eye on that. But I think I might have a bit of a coolant leak. Very slight weep. But no, on the whole, it's really good. Drives good. I've adjusted the kick down. Drives good. It behaves well. Now it actually feels really good. So I might do the front. I might do the fronts, and if I do, or do I just get it tracked first? I don't know. I might do the front, because it'd be really nice to have complete confidence in it again. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to sign off. So thank you very much for watching. If you don't mind, give us a subscribe. I know a lot of the viewing figures are by non-subscribers, so that would be good. I would like to give the channel a bit of a push. I mean, that is 40. Normally I'm gripping on with two hands. I'm driving one-handed. That's just it's such a difference. So there we go. Soft suspension. Anyhow, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. I'm not sure what the next video will be, so yeah, just thanks for watching. I do have some more upgrades to do. I've brought some lithium batteries, so and I've got some air lockers to install, so there will be more Land Rover content. Probably not much getting out this year, obviously due to the dog, but yeah, the idea is when I do get back out, it's better. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.